Michael is with us. Michael's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hey, Michael, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really learned a lot from you, and I appreciate everything that you and your crew does.
Thanks.
I'm 32 years old. I run a specialty food business in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We have a brick and mortar store. We also have a food manufacturing operation.
Cool. Good for you.
Thank you. I've owned the business for about 8 years, and this year we're on track to do about 1.2 million.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, thank you. So my question is how do I navigate possibly making my wife a co-owner of the business and changing the business structure, or leaving it as is, but just honoring my wife and her work? And I'm just trying to figure out really what's the best way to have a partnership in life and also in business. And so that's the reason for my call today.
Okay. What is your ownership structure? A sub S, an LLC, what?
So when I purchased the business in 2015, I created an LLC.
Okay.
And it was before my wife and I were married.
Okay.
So it's an LLC with a single member.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's currently set up.
Okay. Did you have an attorney do that?
Yes, we did.
Do you work with an attorney regularly?
I do, yes.
Okay. Just call them up and tell them put your wife on the LLC as one of the owners.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, she doesn't work there, right?
No, she does work with the company.
Oh, okay.
She does our marketing, and obviously any major business decisions. We're going to open up another store or acquire another company or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's really the right hand woman, I should say.
Okay.
She's very smart. And
how many people work on your team?
We have about 8 people.
Okay. All right. And does she get paid for the marketing or just gets paid out of the profits?
So we both just get paid out of the profits.
Okay, that's fine.
But we do take a annual withdrawal before the profit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But there's not any, quote, salary that you get as CEO or salary that she gets as marketing, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. No problem with that at all. Okay.
Yeah, no, we lump it together. Yeah. So we use
I don't know the divorce court laws in New Mexico, but I suspect she probably owns half of this anyway.
Right.
In the event of a divorce, she would probably get rights to half of it, particularly since she works in it. I'm not an attorney in New Mexico, so, but it's real simple. Sharon is on all of our LLCs. In some cases, Sharon's the only one on them. From a risk management perspective, I own so few things nowadays, it's ridiculous. In case somebody wanted to sue Dave Ramsey, he really doesn't own anything. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, technically speaking. So, so that's fine. How long have y'all been married?
5 years.
Okay. Everything's going good then, marriage-wise.
Yeah, it's going good. We have two small children. Okay. Right. They're 4 and 2, so we have a lot going on for sure.
Sharon's on all the accounts here as a signatory, and she's in at least 50% in every LLC. In some cases, she's 100% of it, depending on where it falls in our estate plan. I've got a bunch of LLCs, so and different things. Now, what I would do is call it, that's an easy one. Just call the attorney and give her half the LLC. It's not a problem. All it does is just do what's probably already there anyway. She probably has marital rights to the assets anyway, but it's okay. And it's a way to honor and to say that. So then the one thing I will advise you that is not what you called about, but to be careful of your roles at work. You described her as 2 things as of today. She's now one of the owners and gets paid out of the profits. You're one of the owners and gets paid out of the profits. And she also does marketing, and you're the CEO. When the business gets ready to expand, you guys put on an owner hat, and the 2 owners sit down and decide as owners, both having a vote in your mutual in your relationship. You both have a discussion about, okay, we're both going to talk about this. We both value the other one's opinion. Do we open another store? Okay, a big decision. That's an ownership decision. That's not a CEO and marketing decision. You follow the difference?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then when you walk back into your offices after having that discussion, and she starts doing some social media buys, some paid media buys, or she starts placing some other kind of marketing campaign in place, she takes off her owner hat then and puts on her marketing vice president hat, who reports to the CEO. So marketing decisions flow up through the CEO's office, not the ownership office. You follow me?
Yeah.
And if you guys will keep those roles, we use that hat thing around here all the time. So like when we're at Thanksgiving dinner, I'm Papa Dave. I got on the Papa Dave hat, okay, because I got 7 grandbabies running around, all right? But it's the same people at that dinner that would include Rachel Cruz, one of the Ramsey personalities. When we're sitting here at this desk doing the Ramsey show and Rachel Cruz is a co-host, I've got on my CEO hat and my Ramsey personality hat, and Rachel has on a Ramsey personality hat. I'm not Papa Dave then. We joke and cut up about it, but I'm functioning in the role that I'm doing at work. She's functioning in the role she does at work. And then when we're at Thanksgiving dinner, she's my daughter and the mother of 3 of my grandkids. And I change hats. Yeah. And so you've got to be able to do that when you're working, particularly with your spouse. I had a guy, we did a high-end VIP thing at one of the Entre events, and we had 20 couples, 20 people up at our house, and this guy and his wife were having this same kind of discussion. It's kind of an interesting discussion. She was his CFO until they figured out they yelled at each other all the time, and she quit. And he said, "No, I fired you." And she said, "No, I quit." And I said, "Well, here's the problem. You would never talk to another CEO the way you talk to her. Mm-hmm. You disrespected her. And you, with your screeching wife argument, would never talk to a CEO like that in any other situation unless you expected your butt to get fired instantaneously." And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "So y'all were both misbehaving because you were having a husband and wife argument instead of a CEO and a CFO discussing a business situation. And, you know, if you're the CFO, you work for the CEO. That's how that works. You're not in charge. And you don't get your claws out and make it otherwise. Now, if we want to go home or go to an offsite and sit down and say, we both own this thing, and as 2 owners, I disagree with you, then we could talk about that. But you don't disrespect each other in the office and have a husband and wife fight when you should be having a CFO and CEO discussion. And that you're not doing that, but that's an extreme example of what I'm talking about with you. You've got to be very careful to have these roles defined and when you're functioning in the different roles. So when you guys are making your expansion decisions, you're doing that as husband and wife owners. But when you're doing a marketing campaign, she's the marketing director submitting that to the CEO. He's approving it, and we're going off with it. She doesn't run out there and do it by herself. She couldn't do that in any other organization. There'd be accountability for that. And so that's how we walk this through. So just be careful with that. That's something you didn't ask for, but it comes with the price of the call. And the advice here is free, and some people say it's worth exactly what you pay for it.